Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King. And today I'm going to be giving you part 4 of What If Naruto Was a Genius Prodigy with a Lost Bloodline. And also guys, over Anime King 3, I post a brand new episode of What If Naruto was created by the Kekkei Clan, so go ahead, check out that and enjoy guys. And also over on Anime King 2, I post a brand new episode of What If Naruto Was the God of Space, Time and Will. So go ahead and enjoy that. If you're new, yes, you heard that correctly. I indeed have 3 channels. Anime King 2, Anime King 3. Which I post What If on every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead and click that red subscribe button. Links will be down in the description guys. And also, remember to turn on that bell notification stay posted, so you can see exactly when I post. So yeah. Without further ado, what is to begin this new episode? Start the intro. So the last spot we left off, Minato and Kushina wish him good luck on his first day at being a genin. So with that, Itachi and Yujiro was waiting on him as their sensei finally arrived. It was then that she told him that they had to take the bells away from her, and the one that didn't get a bell would be going back to the academy. Itachi had placed a genjutsu on Naruto the moment they arrived, as Naruto had noticed that. As they spoke about it as a group, realizing that it must be some sort of test after all. She's a full-fledged jonin and they were just graduated genins, so it would be impossible for them to fully defeat her. So they decided to work as a team. As Rain saw their teamwork, and she was beyond impressed. By the end of the day, as Yujiro got tied up, she told none of them to give her food, but in the end they both gave her food. She came in rather rough, but she smiled at the end and told them that they all passed. So with that, they took on D-rank missions for a while, until she finally asked for a C rank, so they could get out of the village. Something more, well, dangerous to be exact. So with that, they got a mission to go off to the port. Making their way, it didn't take too long as they found their clients. Well, their client. As it was Yuki Fushikage. The girl was rather, well, she was not what Naruto expected, as she was nothing like the movie at all. He had brought her back with him though, as they made their way towards the land of snow. She refused to go there, but they still headed off. They came across 3 snow ninjas. When Naruto faced off against the giant guy, he found the guy moving extremely slow, as he wasn't really a match for him. In the end, they retreated towards the boats. So with that, they made their way, until Yuki decided to run away once again, as Naruto found her. When they were going through the tunnel, she saw something. Lights. It was a train. It was then that she saw how amazing Naruto was, as he was able to outrun the train at full speed. The train was going at full speed and yet, he was able to get it lost in his dust. As she couldn't even see the train that closely behind her anymore, she was shocked as she held on to him tight as they jumped through the path, as the train rushed past them. She was sure that she saw some strange blue glow back there when he was running. As she looked towards him as he was laughing that they got through. This child was something special indeed, she noticed. So yeah guys, that's basically as we left off. You guys can switch across the playset of yourself, and also remember to go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto Was created by the Kekkei Clan over in Anime King 3 guys, and enjoy that. And over Anime King 2, I post a brand new episode of What If Naruto Was the God of Space, Time and Will, so go ahead and check out that and enjoy as well guys. And remember, if you're new, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family. Turn on that bell notification stay posted, and yeah, let's get right into it guys. The massive train came to a stop. Naruto, the voice of Itachi called out. He found her, said Yujiro. A loud squeak echoed through the air, indicating that a microphone was being turned on. It's been a long time, Princess Koyuki. Koyuki's eyes went wide. It's him. It's been what? 10 years. My, have you grown into a beautiful young lady? Your beauty is certainly remnants of your late mother. Too bad you're not as smart as your father after all. You have not surrendered to me yet, he said. Dodo, she said. Naruto stepped in front of her. Suddenly, massive tree trunks run down the hill. As they slam into the train, samurais all arrive at the edge of the cliff. There you have it, man, Sandio said with his blade drawn. Our beloved Princess Koyuki has returned. He pointed his blade down towards Dodo. The samurais of Land of Snow shouted in approval. Charge! He yelled as all of them follow him down the cliff. Sir, I'll... Dodo raised his hand, stopping Nidori. There's only one thing worms like these understand, he said with a smirk. Complete and total annihilation. He dropped his hand and the side of the train fell off, showing strange small holes. Kunas were sent sailing out of each of them at a rapid pace. The samurais ran to their deaths as they were impaled. Team 7 eyes widened as they watched the slaughter in front of them as the samurais were cut down. How awful. All those people, Itachi said. As he watched the samurais falling, Yujiro clenched her fists. This is horrible, said Naruto. As he watched a smirk appear on Dodo's face, Sandio collapsed down to the ground. You animal, Naruto said. Dodo stopped laughing as he turned his gaze towards Naruto. As Naruto glared at him, Dodo's eyes reflected Naruto's anger form. That boy, he thought. We're done here, let's go, said Dodo. As he disappeared back in the train roared to life and sped off along the track. Itachi, where is Rin Sensei? Asked Yujiro. I don't know, said Itachi. His voice was laced with anger as he looked towards the carnage in front of him. Is this what being a ninja means? He asked himself. Sensei, said Yujiro as she watched her teacher gently place Sandio down on a wooden board. Is there anything you can do for him? The director asked. No. Any medical interference now will only prolong their suffering, she said in a sad tone. He was a noble man. He held firm to his ideals even though he knew he had no chance. But I think that all of them must have known that, she said, as she glanced over the rest of the samurais. Rin turned toward her students, their faces were blank. They shouldn't be exposed to this so young, she said aloud. Koyuki collapsed to her knees. Are you finished running yet? Naruto asked. I don't... Just go away, she yelled. Just go away, leave. This doesn't concern you. I don't care about Land of Snow. I don't care about my family. All I care about is living, she said, tears streaming down her face. Naruto walked up towards her as she threw snow at him. I said go away. I don't want you here, she yelled. Can't you understand? She kept on throwing snow at him until he placed a hand on her head. Don't you worry, he said. I understand completely. His eyes were full of determination. As she looked into his eyes, she watched as the sun started to pierce through the clouds. The first ray of sunshine, it hit his body, enveloping him in a bright warm light. Her tears kept on flowing even more. Naruto, she said. Please help me, she begged. Of course, I'll help you, he said. Time skip. As the group were gathered, Team 7 along with the director. Well, I guess Naruto has decided to get us in this mess. So there's only one thing we can do, Itachi said as he glanced through the window of the hideout. And what is that? Rin asked. We rescue him. When he gets over his head like this, said Itachi. Well then, it's settled, said Yujiro. No, nothing is settled. We can't just charge in and overtake a country dictator like this. This will have serious consequences, said Rin. All will be good if we succeed, said Naruto. Is that so, Rin said as she crossed her arms and looked sternly at the Genins. Yes, said Naruto. Her eyes widened. Behind Naruto was a reflection of Kakashi. I'd rather be a fool than a coward. The both of them, their words, it made her gaze soften. Naruto, you're gonna be a strong shinobi one day. But until then, I'll protect you, she said. Well, alright then, if you're all hell-bent on taking this reckless course of action, then I'll remind you that we will receive no backup for this endeavor. We will be scolded beyond belief. You all may be doing D-rank missions for the rest of your shinobi career, and you all may be Genins forever if we fail. None of their looks falter though. It seems like you got yourself a team of fools there. A team of determined fools, he said, with a big smile on his face. Rin smiled at that. Well, alright then, she said. Here's the plan. Meanwhile, at the castle, Dodo sat in his throne, with his 3 mercenaries in front of him. Sir, allow us to pursue and capture Kekkei. You've already attempted that, remember? And that Konoha Shinobi took you for a fool. She's not one to be taken lightly, said Dodo. This time will be different, he insisted. Watch the rush, Nidori. They will come to us. What makes you so sure? Said Fubuki. Well, he said, as he remembered that look in Naruto's eyes. That boy, he thought to himself. The hatred in that boy's eyes were delicious. My armor spiked from the power that he was emitting. You can't tell me you didn't feel it, he said. I don't understand. Why would we allow them to attack us when we can be on the offensive? I don't care about titles or this land. I've never harbored any love for anything in my heart other than money. As he picked up the wine glass that was next to him and brought it to his lips, he drank the contents and placed it back down. Money is the key to power, and the key to money is Kekkei necklace. It's a symbol that marks her as the heir to the Kazahana clan. It's also the key that opened the vault. That has been locked away from me for 10 long years, he said, with a sigh. How are you gonna get that key then? Nidori asked. He will come to me, said Dodo with a laugh. Now go. He dismissed them all with a wave of his hand. Meanwhile, Team 7 and Kekkei stood at the main gates of the Land of Snow. The city around the main palace was completely abandoned. Where are all the people? Said Yujiro. Dodo has completely cut off the people from the outside world. No supplies have come in for some years now. Since the Land of Snow climate is so harsh, merchants and traders stopped coming here. It had a snowball effect on the economy, and soon the people were forced to leave. They're left behind, said Rin, with a harsh look. Kekkei's hand shook as she stared at her old home. This place, as everyone turned towards her, has been the bane of my existence for so long. We'll change that, said Yujiro. Why do you think we're all standing by you? It's because friends stick together, and you got the best team of Konoha backing you up. Team 7, she said. She's right. We stand together, Itachi said firmly. We can do this, said Naruto. Well, isn't that sweet? It's so nice of you to join us here. The 3 mercenary ninjas appear on top of the gate. Why won't you die, Rin said, as she glared up towards the snow ninjas. Now, Rin-chan, if I were to die, who would haunt your worst nightmares? As he flashed through hand sign, a lot of things, like that hideous armor you insist on wearing, she said, as she threw off her cloak. Watch each other back and don't do anything reckless, she ordered. Nidori and Rain both disappeared in bursts of speed. This left Misara, Fubuki, Itachi, Kekkei, and Naruto, and Yujiro. As Itachi threw off his cloak, his Sharingan flared to life as he analyzed the enemy. He turned towards Yujiro and Naruto. We're ready. As the 3 of them nodded, as they threw off their cloak, the 2 snow ninja as Itachi and Yujiro also disappeared. Naruto, why aren't you going to fight with your friends? Asked Kekkei. Naruto tightened his glove. I know who I have to fight, he said. He turned and looked towards her, his face was dead serious. Stay safe. Wait, you can't, she said. But he was already going in. Meanwhile, Rin and Nidori stood on top of the steel walls. Hayaton, as he released a small wave of ice towards her. Fire erupted around her feet. The wave of ice melted around her feet, and the one that came towards her as well. Just how strong is she? Nidori wondered. Stronger than he will ever be, she said. His eyes widened in shock. Can she read my mind? He thought to himself. He went through hand sign. Don't bother, she said. I've had enough of you. You've become a real annoyance. You think that all of this is a game. You think that all the life that you ruin in this land is nothing. As ninja, it is our duty to serve the weak, so that they may live in prosperity and peace. Your kind sickens me. Preying on the weak for your own gain. You can take this with you to the afterlife. There was someone that outclassed you in every way possible. You were helpless to stop your own demise because the last moments in your wretched life, you were too weak to save yourself. He was lost for words. This wasn't the same Rin that he fought before. She was a true shinobi in every ounce of the word. Although they were in the cold, he did not feel cold. As he felt her gaze stare directly at him, like she was looking through his soul. Had she been playing with him this entire time? She appeared behind in a burst of speed. A brutal kick slammed into his back. He recovered as he backflipped. He threw multiple shurikens towards her. She flashed two hands and slammed her hand down. A wall of fire protected her from shurikens. The wall of fire then shot forward towards him. As he leaped up towards the wall, Rin appeared right above him, shocking him by her speed. She gave him a brutal kick to the face. She then grabbed his leg before he could skid away. "Your ninja way is weaker than mine," she yelled before she twisted his ankle around. A sickening crack ran through the waistline. She held on to his ankle and jumped down. No! His eyes widened as she gripped him tightly and placed her foot at his throat. She then spun and brought him down towards the hardened ground. His eyes widened as his head smashed into the solid stone. She shunched at the last moment as his body collapsed down. "This is over the moment it started," she said. Meanwhile, Yujiro glared at the large man in front of her. Itachi was facing off against a female, Kunoichi. She watches the both of them leaped up onto one of the buildings. He shot a cable towards her from his gauntlet. "Little girl, you better keep your eyes on me," he said. She dodged it at the last moment. The claws on the gauntlet switch, and kunai holsters appear. "Die!" he yelled. He fired a barrage of kunais towards her. She twisted and flipped as she leaped out of the way. "Hold still, you brat!" he yelled at her. She ran up the wall before she flipped and landed on the roof. He leaped and landed on the roof with a scowl as he held his gauntlet out towards her once again. The center opened up and his 3 claws reappear once again. The claws rotated at fast pace around the center. A stream of fire shot out towards her. She quickly went through handstands as fast as she could. Water style. Miserapa, he launched a stream of water towards her. She spewed fire as the technique canceled each other. As smoke filled the area. This brat is good, he thought. He slammed the gauntlet into the roof. Many tiles break off and shoot towards her. One of them hit her in the face as he flashed in front of her and drove the gauntlet right into her stomach. He brought his other hand down to grab her by the hair, but she pulled herself back as she brought her feet up and slammed it under his chin. Before she stepped back, "You're starting to really piss me off," she said, as she jumped away holding her ribs. "A few of my ribs are broken. He got me into a corner. In a straight up fight, I can't win with him swinging that gauntlet around. But I can outsmart him," as she formed the ram hand sign. Still fighting the inevitable. "You stupid girl." He leaped forward with his gauntlet pulled back. He swung. She dodged as the building was destroyed from the force. "Is that all you can do? Dodge me," he taunted her. She smirked as the tag that she placed on him when he hit her in the stomach exploded. He roared in pain as the gauntlet sparked as he leaped back away from the smoke. "She disabled the mechanism in my gauntlet. At such close range, the chakra barrier was useless. She allowed me to hit her." Clever girl. "Sorry, but this is as far as you go," she said. She flashed through hand sign she aimed in the snake hand sign. "Earth style," she said. The ground beneath them started to shake. His eyes widened. Where did a brat like this learn a jutsu of this caliber? A massive earth dragon rose up behind him. This is impossible, he thought. He leaped, but the dragon was just faster as he was enveloped by it. The core in his gauntlet was pierced by the sharp stones. As he started to leak some purple substance, he was smashed down into the ground by the dragon. The core went critical and exploded as his body was covered by a lot of stone and debris. He wasn't moving. She panted as she fell to her knees. She coughed up some blood. "He must have hit me harder than I thought," she said, as she started to lose consciousness. The last thing she made out was 2 feet appearing next on chin, right in front of her. Meanwhile, "You're well past your years, aren't you?" said Fubuki, as she smirked. "I see, not much of a talker." As Itachi poofed away. "A shadow clone? That's a Jonin level jutsu. I've been fighting a clone this entire time," she thought to herself. He appeared in a burst of speed behind her. She turned and looked into his Sharingan. "I've analyzed your technique with my Sharingan. It's obvious that you rely heavily on this armor. It would be a shame if I were to strip it away," he said. There was little to no emotion in his tone. She leaped off the roof, her gliders extended from her back as she flew away. She smirked as he was still standing there. The sky then turned black. "What the hell?" she said. A blood-red moon appeared in the clouds. The Sharingan was on it, at full display. "He caught me in a genjutsu," she thought frantically. Suddenly, her glider wings turned to a pair of hands that covered her mouth and nose. She started panicking because she could not breathe as she fell into a building as Itachi chased after her. "You little bastard!" Her armor was badly damaged as it was sparking, as she crawled out of a small hole. Casting against Jutsu with a Sharingan still, but a strain on my eyes despite the fact I've trained them to maturity. My body is still not fully developed. It hasn't properly accumulated with the Sharingan. As a result, it took a lot more than I thought, he said to himself. You know, I thought that my sensei and I didn't have much in common. But I realized we have something in common after all. We both despise people like you that prey upon the weak. This realization has helped me discover my ninja way to protect those that are precious to me. She chuckled at that, a bitter chuckle. You think I'm the only one of my kind? There will be other ninjas, she coughed. Others that will stop at nothing to see you die. Itachi flew through hand sign, fire style, fireball jutsu, as she was engulfed in a stream of fire. Naruto, the rest is up to you, as he fell backwards. Meanwhile, Dodo sat on his throne. He crushed the glass in his hand. Come for me, boy, he said. The door was splintered open, broken down. As Naruto stepped through the smoke, Dodo released killer intent towards the child. But the child ignored and kept on walking towards him. As he reached the stairs beneath the throne, Dodo released another blast of killer intent. But Naruto kept on walking before he moved, and smashed his fist in the man's face. The daimyo was sent sailing as he crashed into the wall. Dodo was shocked. I'm here to kick your ass, said Naruto. Dodo picked himself up. You're no ordinary brat, are you, he said. Naruto clenched his fists. The yellow aura fluctuated around him for a second before it vanished. Dodo flashed through hands before he thrust his hand out. A black smoky dragon shot towards Naruto. The world around Naruto glowed. It's like using all senses at once. It's like having eagle vision. Naruto thought to himself. As the dragon slowed down, he cocked his head to the side of the dragon, harmlessly passed by him. I knew I recognized you. You're a Namikaze, aren't you? That swift release is truly remarkable, said Dodo. Naruto's eyes narrowed, but he did not answer. I believe I have something of your ancestor, Riku Namikaze. Naruto's eyes widened. What are you on about, freak, he said. Dodo smiled. As he pulled a scroll from his GI, there was a poof. As he had a blade in his hand. That's the Orkomanji. The spirit sword. Where did you get that? Naruto shouted. Oh, it's been in the vaults of the Kazahana clan for generations. Your ancestor founded this country. Naruto's eyes widened at that. He originally dubbed this country Land of Spring. Dodo said while chuckling. The sword sheath was black and under the hilt was a red guard, a claw tied around it. The blade hilt guard was gold, immensely strong and durable. As Dodo unsheathed the blade was approximately 70 centimeters long and 4 centimeters wide. It looked extremely light but looked extremely strong as well. Naruto would not admit it, but he was quite intimidated by anything that belonged to his ancestor. The man was a monster, and if this was truly his blade, then this battle got a whole lot difficult. The Namikaze symbols on the blade, proudly shining. Try this then, boy, said Dodo. As he funneled his chakra through the blade, he then swung it forward. The blade created a shockwave of chakra as Naruto ducked underneath it. The energy crippled the palace, and a very large portion of the tower was sliced. A few support beams were intact though, leaving the palace up. The damaged part though fell down to the snowy ground down below. Naruto looked shocked as he watched. You let your guard down, boy. Naruto turned to see Dodo with a sword in front of him. His hand caught back. Naruto's swift release allowed him to avoid the full brunt of the attack, however. He didn't fully avoid the blade. The blade traveled diagonally, down from his right eye down to his left cheek. As he jumped away as Dodo cackled, Naruto gripped his bleeding face with his glowing hand. I can feel the power of the blade flowing through my veins, Dodo said as he reappeared behind Naruto in a burst of speed. Naruto turned as Dodo smashed his fist in his stomach. His body was thrown as he smashed right into the throne. You're pretty durable, boy. Your swift release does more than just increase your reaction time and your speed. It formed a protective shield around you, making your body chemistry a lot stronger. As Naruto struggled to pull himself up, Dodo cackled. It just means I can enjoy this more. He disappeared and reappeared above Naruto, a sword coming down. Before he could run Naruto through though, the blonde channeled chakra through his feet and kicked off. As Naruto backflipped up the wall and flashed through hand signs. I need to separate him from that sword, Naruto thought, as he inhaled, Fire style as he blew a stream of fire. He flashed two hands once again, wind style, the topper. A combination of fire and wind. This boy, he is truly gifted, said Dodo, as he cut the powerful torrent of flames into small embers with the blade. A lone shuriken burst right through it, as Naruto flashed through Handshine. Shuriken clone jutsu, he said. Dodo brought his arms up. Once the onslaught was over, he looked up to see Naruto. His fist caught back that was glowing. Too slow, said Naruto as he slammed his fist right into Dodo's face. Dodo was thrown as he broke right through the rest of the throne, crashing into the wall, into a gaping hole. The sword fell out of Dodo's hand as it pierced into the ground. As his face was a mess, bloody and bruised. You're gonna pay for what you did to Koyuki's family and this country. Pay? I can pay whatever you want. Such is the world of the hatred, boy, he coughed. I can see it. I can see the hatred in your eyes. How cynical, said Naruto as he stopped. You think you're any different? Look around, boy. Look what we've done. As Naruto looked towards the ruined palace. All in the name of defeating me. We've both destroyed a palace that have stood for centuries, he laughed. You know something, boy, you and I. We aren't so different. He coughed. Are you finished, said Naruto. Dodo struggled to his feet using the wall for support. I'll kill you, just like how I planned to kill the princess. You mean Koyuki? Said Naruto. As Naruto snapped, a reservoir of power inside of him, something just broke as it exploded to the surface. You mean Koyuki? He roared. The ground beneath him shook. He was fully enveloped in yellow aura as it spread all around him. Dodo eyes widened, chakra radar on his arm exploded. This child, he thought. Naruto here shot up spiky as his eyes were blazing, his clothes fluttering upwards. Dodo glared. You're just a child, he yelled. Naruto moved as the ground exploded. A fist slammed into Dodo's chin. Uppercut that sent his body sailing. Naruto leaped and thrust his palms down. The force of him thrusting his palms propelled him straight up above Dodo. As he cocked his fist back, Dodo thrust his fist forward, another Hayaton Black Dragon. You won't ever defeat me, said Naruto as he cut right through the Black Dragon. He then drove his fist into Dodo's stomach. Dodo's mouth exploded with blood. Naruto followed through as he twists. He launched himself down and delivered a brutal kick. Dodo's body broke through the ceiling. He crashed outside the loud bang. As he was unmoving, Naruto landed. As he started to puff and huff, his whole body started to tremble until the golden aura vanished. He then fell face first, as he felt himself getting caught by someone, but he passed out. Time skip. The people in the movie theater cheered as they watched the end credits roll. That was fantastic, said one critic. I couldn't agree more, said another, with tears in their eyes. The director and his team sat in the front row. I am so up for a film award, he said, as the people crowded around him. Meanwhile, Naruto's eyes fluttered open, as he was in a white room. As he noticed the white curtains fluttered open from the wing, he sniffed the sterile smell of the hospital fill his nostrils. Oi, Naruto. He turned his head as he saw another bed. Itachi, he said. Oh, you're looking well. He laughed, as he was pretty beat up as well. That's a nice scar you got there, Itachi said. Naruto brought his hand up, as he could feel the scar, the jagged skin, where he was slashed by Dodo. A part of the scar was hidden under the bandage. His upper lip was also cut and swollen. He also had bandage around his midsection. He sat up and shook his head. Where are we? He said. We're in a hospital in the capital of Snow Country. As Naruto lay back down. You're healing rather quickly. You've been unconscious for 2 days, said Itachi. 2 days, huh? Well, I did kick ass, didn't I? Said Naruto. I would say that you got your ass kicked, Naruto-kun. As Naruto turned to see Ren, she walked over towards him with ramen in her hand. As she handed it to him, he thanked her for the food as he started to eat. I thought you'd be hungry, she said with a smile. How are you both doing? She asked. As Naruto swallowed. Good, he said. I am still quite sore, but I imagine I'll be good in a few days, Itachi said, with a smile of his own. Well, that's good. Because let me tell you, we're heading back home today. And your mothers aren't very impressed with the stunts that you both pulled. As Naruto choked on his ramen as Itachi had a similar reaction. You told them? You traitor, said Naruto. Sensei, how could you, Itachi said. It's kind of my job to report to the Hokage. And it just happened to be that your mothers were there as well. As both boys lowered their head. Oh yeah, I have something for you, Naruto. Naruto's eyes widened as she showed him the Orikamanji. It's here, she said as she handed him the blade. Sensei, I can't accept this, he said. It has your clan symbol on it. You can't decline, she said. This blade. It shows you. As Naruto held on to the blade. And that sword is capable of indestructible, imaginable power. I don't think I can use this, said Rin. As she chuckled a bit. What's so funny, he asked. Do you not know who your mother is? She will instruct you on how to use it, said Rin. But this sword, Kurama the palace do one swing, said Naruto. It's monstrous. Your mother blade is exactly the same. She was a real demon back in the day, Naruto. Wield it with pride. You earn it. Okay, said Naruto. Good, she said. Now both of you, get your ass out of bed. And meet me and Yuji outside. We're heading back home. As she left the room, Naruto. It was nice knowing you, my friend, Itachi said. As Naruto chuckled. Ain't that the truth, he said. Time skip. Team 7. All bandaged as they arrive at the gates of Konoha. As Naruto's jacket was open so you could see the bandage around his stomach. And the slash along his face. Yuji was in the same predicament. She had a bandage on her hand and one around her stomach. But her clothing didn't allow her to show it. Itachi also had a bandage around his midsection and one above his upper arm. Rin was unscathed. No cuts, no bruises. Team 7 reporting back from Land of Snow, she chirped. As all the Genins groaned. She giggled and wrapped her arms around their shoulders. Now. Don't act so glum, sweeties. They were about to respond until Naruto and Itachi felt two powerful signatures rushing towards them. As they saw the dust of cloud coming towards them, Itachi-kun, Naruto-chan, as both boys grimaced a bit before they were pulled into bone-crushing hugs by their mothers. They began to check them over, and they were rather displeased with what they saw. Kushina was displeased with a large gash on Naruto's face that looked like he was going to scar permanently. Oh my Naruto-chan, my precious little baby, she said as she cried. Naruto was embarrassed as she planned to kiss all over his face. Once her love and affection came out, it soon turned to anger. Naruto Namikaze, she yelled. What were you thinking? The same go for you, Itachi. Overusing your Sharingan. Very irresponsible, said Mikoto. Well, what do you have to say for yourself? Both of them said they looked towards the boys. Both boys sighed softly to themselves as they looked at each other before they looked at their mothers. They did what they thought was best. They ran away, screaming. You think you can get away from us, Mikoto yelled. You're only making it worse, Naruto-chan, yelled Kushina. As they chased after them. Sensei, why are they so worried, said Yujiro. I don't know, Yujiro. I don't know, said Rin. As she shook her head. Naruto and Itachi leaped over a vendor as the man watched as they flew over. But it didn't last as the stall was destroyed as the two women literally barreled through it. Damn it, they're not giving up, said Naruto. Wait until I get my hands on you, Naruto Namikaze, Kushina yelled. Keep running, Itachi. It will make your punishment all more sweeter when I catch you, said Mikoto. Kakashi and Gaara were walking through the streets as they saw Naruto and Itachi barreling towards them. Yosh, Naruto-kun and Itachi-kun have stepped up their training, said Guy, as tears gathered in his eyes as he watched them in their prime time of youth. I don't think that's the case, as two blurs zipped past them. The two angry mothers chased after their children. Like you could ever outrun your mom, Kushina yelled, as she was determined to catch him. Time skip. Team 7 stood with their sensei in front of Minato, as their mothers stood over to the side with smiles on their faces. Itachi and Naruto looked both miserable, but at the concern of opening their wounds. They didn't harm them, but promises of pain were made if they try anything similar. Well, if Rin's report was correct, you greatly benefit from the experience, and some interesting development occurred, said Minato. Your mission pay has been transferred to your accounts. Naruto, I and your mother would like to speak to you. The rest of you are dismissed. Job well done, he said as he left his office. As Naruto stepped forward, he expected a bit of scolding words from his father, some angry words. Are you okay, son? Asked Minato. As Naruto looked surprised, but Minato smiled. As Naruto nodded at him. Yeah, Dad. I'm alright, he said. Good. I understand that your swift release appear, said Minato as he leaned back in his chair. As you most likely have discovered, the key is anger. As Naruto looked down at that. But now that you unlock the power, we will work on controlling it together. As that made Naruto smile. Naruto-chan, where did you get that sword? Oh, when I fought Dodo, he used it. And when I woke up, Rin Sensei gave it to me, said Naruto. Can I see it, she said, as he gave it to his mother. They were commanding, she said. The sword started to vibrate in her hand, as she handed it back to her son rather quickly. That sword has quite the temper, she said. Naruto, do you know who that sword belonged to? Asked Minato. Riku Namikaze. Minato nodded at that. Well, son, it seems I'll be instructing you in Kinjutsu, said Kushina, with a smile. Come on, let's go home. You need some rest, she said. She mouthed I love you to Minato, as he mouthed the same thing. As they left, Minato chuckled once they were gone. Sometimes that boy is too much like his old man for his own good, he thought to himself, with a smile on his face. Time skip. Hey, it's starting, said Naruto. As he looked forward, ninja clashed in the land of snow. We're so cool, said Naruto, as he nudged Itachi in the side. Team 7 minus Rin sat in the theater. They were still a bit sore, but enough to move around. It was only the opening credits, Yujiro said, as she sat on the other side of Itachi. Itachi sat in the center with popcorn in his lap. You must admit, Yujiro, it was cool, Itachi said. Yujiro-san grabbed some popcorn from his lap. You're such a dork, Naruto, she said, as she crossed her leg. Once the move was done, we kicked ass, said Naruto. Hey, you think we should visit the princess soon to see how she's doing? Oh, that reminds me. I forgot to give you this. I got you the autograph, Itachi said. As Naruto opened up, it was a photo. There he was, drooling, wrapped up like a mummy. Yujiro and Itachi both there in the photo, while Koyuki kissed him on the cheek. It was signed by her. Thank you, Naruto. Always stay true to your dreams. Never give up. I know that you will be a great Hokage one day. Yujiro broke out in a fit of giggles, seeing his face. You dork, she said. It's not funny, said Naruto. Naruto-kun. Hearing his name being called, Naruto turned his head. A cloud of smoke was rushing towards them. The cloud stopped in front of Naruto and disappeared to reveal none other than Rock Lee. Oh, hi Lee, said Naruto as he coughed a bit. I heard that you got back from your first secret mission, the first of our age group. That is so amazing, said Lee. Jeez, we were there as well, you know that right, Lee? Said Yujiro. As Itachi merely smiled, Lee jumped back as he slipped into his fighting stance. I have come to test you, he said. From this day forward, I dub you my eternal rival, and forever, we will be locked in ruthless competitions of speed, strength, stamina, and willpower, said Lee. As Lee waited for a response. I can't believe I got Koike autographed, Naruto said. My eternal rival, were you even listening to me, said Lee. Oh, Lee, you're still here, said Naruto. Why do you have to act so cool all the time, said Lee. I challenge you to a round of taijutsu to begin our eternal rivalry, said Lee. Well, if you insist, but not here. Let's go to the training ground, said Naruto. Yush! I couldn't have picked a better spot myself. I'll catch up with you guys later, said Naruto as he stuffed the photo in his pocket. Alright, come on, Itachi. I'm hungry. You're paying, said Yujiro, as Itachi merely shook his head as they move off. Time skip. Hokage's office. That boy, said Jiraiya, with a chuckle. This isn't funny, you baka, said Tsunade. Minato held a new bingo book in front of his face. This is unheard of. For one so young to have a bounty in his head, it is actually quite impressive, said Hiruzen. I wouldn't expect any less from my boy, said Minato, as he looked at his son's photo in the book. Name, Naruto Namikaze. Village of origin, Konoha. Gender, male. Age, 7 to 8 years old. Shinobi rank, Genin. Shinobi skill rank, B. Known clan affiliation, Uzumaki and Namikaze Clan. Known elements, fire, wind, and lightning. Weapons, legendary sword or manji. Physical description of target. Height, 120 cm. Weight, 25 kg. Golden blonde hair, spiky bangs. Frame in his face. Eye color, dark cerulean blue. Special ability, Kekkei Genkai. Swift release. Known family, Minato Namikaze, the fourth Hokage, otherwise known as Yellow Flash. Mother, Kushina Uzumaki, otherwise known as the Red Hot Habanero. Grandmother, Tsunade Senju, Slug Princess. Grandfather, Jiraiya Namikaze, Toad Sanin. Other information is that known to kill Dodo Kazahana, ex-daimyo of Snow Country, after invading the capital with only 4 shinobi. Bounty, 15 million Ryu. Bed station by the Hidden Stone. Minato couldn't help but smile with pride. "That's my boy," he said, as he looked at the photo of his son giving a smirk, with his Orcomanji blade strapped to his back. But now that this was showing, he started to get a bit worried, because the other nation saw that his son was a powerful one, and this just upped the danger level. Naruto will have to get much stronger if he is to face the trails ahead of him. Said Hiruzen, which is our Rinise sensei. "I have every faith that he will get where he needs to be with her guiding him, but I still think that he needs a bit more." "Well, my boy, you got a world-class teacher right in front of you," said Jiraiya, as he pointed to himself. "No offense, Dad, but I don't think that Naruto could cope with their training just quite yet, and you might end up killing him." Jiraiya sighed, knowing that his son was probably right. "Might I suggest something?" Hiruzen said, getting the attention of everyone in the room. Meanwhile, that was going on at Train Ground 11. "This is getting my blood burning," said Lee, as he shot towards the blonde at breakneck speeds. Lee delivered several kicks as Naruto evaded and dodged. He slammed both hands at the ground and brought his legs down. Naruto crossed his arm as he was knocked back by the force. Lee flipped in mid-air and twisted his leg as he brought around for a roundhouse kick. Naruto caught Lee's leg, but Lee turned and slammed his other feet, but Naruto blocked it. Lee then twists, forced Naruto to release him as he flipped in mid-air and landed rather gently. He then charged towards the blonde once again, as he fired off a lot of kicks and punches, forced Naruto back, until Naruto caught his wrist. Naruto then kicked his leg, knocking him off balance. He then brought his knee down towards his temple, but Lee blocked it with his palm. Lee then flipped back, forcing Naruto to release him, as he landed rather calmly on his feet. Naruto leaped in the air and brought his leg down. Lee jumped back, but Naruto burst away in speed because it was only a ploy. Lee's eyes widened as he felt the breeze behind him. He turned, as Naruto's fist made contact with his face, launching him backwards. Lee struggled to get back to his feet. They had been doing this for a time now, as the both of them were exhausted. "Well, will you look at that," said Kakashi, as he stood in his envoy gear. He smiled at Naruto as he watched his spar with Lee. "Sort of remind you of us, doesn't it?" said Kakashi, as he glanced towards his right where Guy was, tears streaming down his face. "I'm so proud of them both," he said, as he wiped the tears from his eyes. "Kakashi, we have—" "Oh, would you look at the time," Kakashi said, interrupting him, as he shunched away. "Not badly," said Naruto, "but if you want to keep score, it's 1-0. My way," said Naruto as he helped Lee up. Lee chuckled as he stood onto his feet. "That was magnificent, Naruto-kun. You've given me a lot to think about. I'll train even harder and next time I will beat you," said Lee. "Okay then, Lee, it's a deal." As Lee sped off, Naruto made his way home. Upon arriving, he discarded his sandals as he made his way to see Karen. "Oh, hi Karen," he said. As he plopped himself on the couch, she couldn't help but smile. She had to admit he was growing on her. "I heard your first mission went well," she said. "Yeah, it did. But getting in the bingo book isn't something I plan on," he said. "Oh, what's your nickname?" she said. "Konoha Swiftblade," he said, with a chuckle. Hey, that's cool," she said. "Think so?" said Naruto as he scratched his cheek. "Well, it's not like I chose it, but—" As he trailed off, "You're such a dork," she said. Naruto's sweat dropped. Maybe Yujiro was right. Maybe he was a dork. Time skip. 3 years later. Each of the members of Team 7 were now 10 years old. As Ren sat in front of Team 7 with a smile on her face, her team of Genins had gone on countless missions since their mission to Land of Snow. "Well, you three, I think it's time that I let you go off into the world." "What are you talking about, Sensei?" said Naruto. As Naruto had grown a bit taller, his hair was longer now as well. His bangs were touching his chin. He still looked rather too cute. Girly, to be exact. Which Kushina informed that it was a gene from the Namikaze man. All of them suffer with it. They were just so cute. She showed him a picture of his father when he was 10. And he was an exact carbon copy, right down to his personality. Although, sometimes Kushina's personality showed through. Her tenacity, her determination. But to his mother's dismay, his, tick was still there. That was because of her. He was wearing blue shinobi pants, a mesh shirt underneath a white undershirt. The first Hokage necklace shone brightly in his open zip jacket. His blade was sheathed on his back. The black sheet came across his chest and went around his back, and he was also wearing the third Hokage gloves around his hand. From his right eye going down towards his left cheek, the cut was still there. It added a bit of a jagged feature. It looked more intimidating, but he still looked girly despite that. Well, of course the past 3 years have a purpose. Come on, kiddo. When do people ever do something without a motive? Ask Rin. Rin was wearing the same outfit she did 3 years ago, but her hair had grown out, as it was now touching her shoulder blades. I thought it was because you loved us, Sensei, joked Yujiro. Yujiro had grown in her own right. She was using a hairpin to hold her hair back. 3/4 black pants with open-toe shinobi sandals. Her toenails painted purple. A blue upper top. She was wearing a kunai holster on the left leg, and a strange purple bracelet. Itachi remained silent, however he was smiling for his teaming antics. He was wearing a brown shirt with the Uchiha symbol crest. Black pants with black sandals. His hair had grown out rather long, as it was now tied up in a ponytail. I've signed you all up for tuning exams. No way. Awesome, said Yujiro. Where are they being held, Sensei? Glad you asked. They're being held in Kumo. Kumo? Said Naruto with a scowl. Itachi remained stoic. Now, Naruto, I know that you're not very fond of Kumo shinobis, but this will be good for you. Listen, while outside of the examination, you can't be touched, he said. I'm still apprehensive, he said. I understand, but this will go a long way if we intend to solidify the alliance with Kumo, if Konoha Genin attend. I know, but I don't have to like it, he said. Now, don't be like that. Just think. You might get a promotion to Chunin. I'm sure you will all get it once you show what you've been working on, she said. As they all nodded, time skip, Hokage's office. No, absolutely not. I will not send my babe to that place, said Kushina. Only her and Minato were in the office together. Yes, I know our past at Kumo is shaky at best, but if we're ever gonna break the cycle and move forward, we need to be a bit cordial, said Minato with a sigh. But what if they try to hurt him, she said. Kushina, as he walked over towards her and placed both hands on her shoulders, he gave her a smile. Even he doesn't want to start a war, not so close to the one that we just had. We both suffered losses, and he and I both know what must be done to achieve peace. Come on, you can't hold a grudge forever against them, he said that chuckle. I have some faith in our boy. He will surpass our expectations, like he always does, he said, as he gave her a kiss on the forehead. But guys, leave the subscribe right here. If you want to see the next portion, do like, subscribe, comment down below, turn on that bell notification, stay posted. Remember, share to all of your friends in your social media platform. And also guys, remember to stay tuned for the rest of what is coming your way. If you're new, yes, that's right, I do have 3 channels, Anime King, Anime King 2, and Making 3, which I post what if on every single day for you guys to enjoy. Yes, you heard that correctly, every single day. So go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Making family. And thank you. Without further ado, let's get the hell out of here. See you guys soon. Peace.